1 hour. A rare astronomical event will take place in the skies over Indianapolis. The transit of Venus over the face of the sun will begin at 6:04. And RTV6 reporter Norman Cox is live at the Holcomb Observatory on the Butler campus, where you can see this spectacular event. Norman?
Well, we are live at Butler, where you can tell, Kevin, that the bright sun is still shining and we're crossing our fingers. Now, you hear of things that are once in a lifetime or once in a century. Well, this is less common than that. Venus tracking across the face of the sun as seen from Earth happens twice in an 8-year period, but then it doesn't happen again for more than another 100 years. It never happened at all in the 20th century, but it's about to happen right now. The transit occurs when Venus comes between Earth and the sun, appearing as a small dot moving from east to west over a period of more than 6 hours. If Earth and Venus were on the same plane, this would happen twice a year. But because their orbits are tilted, it happens very rarely. The first time scientists observed a transit by Venus, it allowed them to accurately measure the distance from Earth to the sun for the first time and to gauge the size of the entire solar system. Butler astronomy professor Brian Murphy says it's now helping us to learn about planets in other star systems by comparing what we see with Venus to what we see when planets pass in front of those stars.
Of course, they're very, very tiny and look like points of light, but we look for this slight dimming of those stars. And we look for the atmospheres of those planets' spectra on the signature of the star. So we're going to do the same thing with Venus and test our methods.
The transit is special to Judy Stanley Shuck of Indianapolis. Her great-grandfather, Irvin Stanley, was a professor who served as a photographer on a U.S. naval expedition to the southern hemisphere to view the last set of transits in the 19th century. She has many of the pictures he took and calls him a real visionary.
He would tell my father, said, "Someday, Allie, you'll see a man on the moon." And this was back in the early 1920s. And sure enough, we saw a man on the moon.
One crucial thing to remember, it isn't safe to watch it using only homemade protection.
Here we actually have filters, and we know it's safe, so that's one place people can come to view it.
Although the transit lasts more than 6 hours, obviously you can only see it while the sun's up, so you'll have about 3 hours to look at it total. Erica?
And Norman, the best place to see it is an observatory like Holcomb there?
Yes, no matter what you may have heard, don't watch it with homemade things like smoked glass. Those simply are not safe, and you'll be risking your vision. Come here where they have professional filters. That's where I'm going to watch it.
All right, do it the right way. Thank you, Norman Cox, reporting live at Butler University.